President Biden says a two-state solution is the only path to peace in the Middle East. But why hasn't it worked? Here's a brief history of Israel and Palestine. Israel has offered to exchange land for peace on 5 separate occasions. Each time, the deal has been rejected. In 1936, the British government investigated the causes of unrest between Arabs and Jews in the region. To quell the unrest, the British offered Arabs a state covering 80% of the land and a Jewish state with 20%, the holy sites remaining neutral. The Jews voted to accept the deal. The Arabs rejected it with a violent rebellion. 10 years later, in 1947, the United Nations decided the best solution was to divide the land into 2 states. The British mandate offered the Arabs more than half of the land as an independent state, but once again, the Jews accepted the offer and the Arabs rejected it, leading to the Arab-Israeli War in 1948, which was a disaster for the Arabs. As a result of the war, Israel controlled the area the UN proposed for the Jewish state, as well as almost 60% of the area proposed for the Arab state. 2 decades later, the Six-Day War between Israel and a coalition of Arab states, and another pivotal victory for Israel. Israel gained control of Jerusalem and what is now referred to as the West Bank and Gaza. This led to the Arab League's 3 no's: no peace with Israel, no recognition of Israel, and no negotiations with Israel. In 1973, when Israel was attacked by Egypt and Syria on Yom Kippur, it had another victory at a great cost. Israel gained the Golan Heights and the Sinai Peninsula. Israel returned the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt in exchange for lasting peace. Egypt was the first Arab country to recognize Israel as a state. Then in the 1993 Oslo Accords and at the 2000 Camp David Summit, Israel offered the Arabs a Palestinian state with 94% of the West Bank, all of Gaza and East Jerusalem as its capital. Once again, the Palestinian leader rejected the offer. President Bill Clinton said Yasser Arafat was here 14 days and said no to everything. The refusal led to the first and second Intifada. In 2005, Israel gave up the land in Gaza and removed the Jewish people from the land in hopes for peace. Gazans voted in Hamas, whose charter openly calls for the destruction of the State of Israel and the creation of an Islamic state in its place. Despite that, in 2008, Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert offered a Palestinian state with all of Gaza, 94% of the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and additional land. The Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas said no. As one rabbi puts it, the two-state solution feels like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result. For Newsmax, I'm Caleb Park.